Hello everyone, Darren here, and this is the first ever gameplay critique video of the new little sub-series here, brought to you by Safoo71. And so, essentially what this whole little sub-series is if you submit something and I don't really see much of map awareness in there, or if you request specifically for a critique, then the replays will go in this category as well. So that's essentially what this series is, and what this video will be is, essentially critiquing the gameplay of what Safoo did well, or what he could have done better. So, let's get into the replay. So here we have Safoo in the T-29 on Mountain Pass in the southern spawn. Now, I would like to point out, the T-29 is a very, very good tank. It's a very big fan favorite tier 7 heavy tank for its fantastic turret armor and its pretty nice gun. A definite good ridgeline fighter at the tier. Now, he is going to a position that I would be very cautious in. Honestly, I wouldn't be going this direction personally. I probably would go to the southwestern part of the map, simply as there are tiny hills along the very far bottom part of the map that I can make use of and hide my hull. But seeing as for the most part, his team is going to be sticking around up in this area, it may be a smart idea to, not be going that direction that I was talking about, and instead stick with the group, because sometimes safety in numbers. Now, the one thing that I'm a little cautious of or concerned with right now is that the position he's in is kind of also making it very easy for the enemy to hit him. But at the same time, as you can see, he is bouncing shots and it's paying off. He's doing a pretty decent job of at least, maybe angling if he is going to back up far enough. But at the same time, with these rock formations not a straight line, side scraping may or may not actually be a good idea. Being a little bit more on the already safe side and trying to hug the corner here is a much better option. And you can see he takes that. And he's going to continue bouncing shots. Apologize for bouncing my mic there. But he is taking damage. Again, this is why I was cautious about taking this position in a turret-focused vehicle on the bottom of a hill. And that is because the front slope of the T-29 is angled in such a way that, shooting down from that position up there could could it make it very easy for the enemy to pen. And it also makes it easy for any vehicle that may have a very nice, good, high accuracy gun to hit, and a punchy one at that, to hit the cupola weak spot on top of the turret. But again, he's also bouncing shots, so the turret is working for him. Now you're going to see here, he's going to take out a WoTC check. So again, now you're also going to see they're going to go unspotted, the enemy up there. And really that would be the time to push, especially seeing as there is an enemy along the bridge up there that could get some side shots. So sitting here essentially in a crossfire position is never good, and you want to try and get out of that as soon as possible, as soon as you can. And it does look like he noticed that right around that time that he noticed that there was a TD sitting there on the map with no one to oppose him from just sitting on the bridge and shooting him. He's decided to peek, seeing as for the most part the majority of the force up on top of the hill was taken out. So really time to apply the pressure here. Now we're going to see that everyone kind of just seems to let him sit up there and go die. They're content to still sit on the corner and either try and take care of the TD that's up there along the bridge, or just wait and see what happens. What you are going to see is he's going to make very good use of the wreckage as well as his turret and gun depression to, again, hide his weaker hull compared to the turret, and lay into the enemy vehicle in front of him. Nonetheless, trying to keep some form of the wreckage in front. But of course, with artillery being right in front of him, it doesn't really matter. He needs to push and put some form of cover in between. He makes a right choice of taking the dip, putting a shot into the artillery dealing with him quickly, and then, you know, putting a ridge in between him and the opponent. T-23E3 pops up, manages to, you know, take care of the enemy tank in front. Better late than never, as I always say sometimes. And so now we are going to be moving this direction. Really, the strategy, again, not much I can really say with this point. And pretty much now what we are going to see is he's going to try, and seeing as there's only 3 of them left, they're all at the base. Really, in this position, there's 2 choices. Either I could, depending on how I felt, I could take the loss, or I could, you know, try and cap and either go for the win. As you can see, they start counter capping. Now, I apologize ahead for just kind of cutting out. This is again a spectated replay, and he started cycling tanks, so I had to cut that out because that doesn't really help. But again, at the same time, they're just capping. And that's what this game is going to essentially be, is being aware that the enemy team will probably counter cap rather than come and deal with them, or counter cap because they're capping. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, the replay itself, damage-wise, was not that great. So he only did like 13 to 1700 damage, but I will chalk that up to the fact that the pressure to counter cap was on. None of those vehicles were really going to make it back in time. And so, again, going for the victory, I can completely understand. And if any of those vehicles came back to defend their cap, he would have had much more damage. And to me, that could have also been a strategy here as well, is to simply cap to entice people to come back and defend to get more damage. Fortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But hopefully, Safoo here learned from this replay and got some critique from it as well. And hopefully that carries on with him from here into future games. And yeah, I'd like to thank him for the submission, and I'd like to again invite everyone to, if you have a replay that you would like feedback on, or if you would have you know, a really good game that you think someone could learn from, even a bad game that someone could learn from, I invite you to submit it, and it will be featured. And yeah, that will be it. And that concludes part 1 of the new gameplay critique series. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you have a video that you would like critiqued as well, feel free to send it in, as I will feature it on the channel. And until next time, this has been Darren of WoTC Academy.